Alright, we back out here today in the cotton field. No, do not adjust your television screens. Zach is in the cotton picker today. Yes, I'm missing my mustache and goatee that I've been growing for the past 6 months. We're not going to talk about it. I had a little incident at the house last night which required removal of said mustache and goatee.
Alright guys, we're back on the road again this morning. We got a good start this morning. I'm gonna set a pretty ambitious goal of 135 acres today. It's not gonna match up with full fill-ups because I'm getting about 25 acres on the fill-up. But I think a goal of 150 acres in one day is probably gonna be a little ambitious. I could get it done, it's just be just a matter of how late I want to stay out here tonight. And I've had quite a few, between 10 and 12 o'clock nights over the last week, and the prospect of another one really doesn't enthuse me too much. But hey, if that's what we got to do to get the job done, that's what we'll do. Hopefully have a good day today, have a good day tomorrow, and got an 80% chance of rain on Thursday. Yippee. Just when everything is planting perfect and going good, we got a good chance for rain. I guess technically, if I really wanted to push hard enough, we could get all of our wheat planted that time. It will require me and Zach running, 24 hours a day. We've done it before, but it wasn't a very fun experience. And the forecast after this rain still looks pretty decent. So, it's not like if we don't get our wheat planted by Wednesday night, we're not going to get it planted. We're not in that kind of situation like we were a few years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, Zach and I had a marathon session of planting wheat. It was actually when the season we were being recorded for the American Farm, and the film crew out here did a great job of documenting it. Unfortunately, it never made it to TV because we had never had a season 2 of the American Farm. But anyway, what we did, we got done picking cotton, and we saw rain was going to come in, and within 2.5 days, I think we had about 400 acres of wheat we were wanting to plant, and it wasn't just one rain event. It was going to be several days of rain, and we were getting up there close to the crop insurance deadline, and we knew if we didn't get the wheat planted then, there was a very good chance we weren't going to get it planted at all. So Zach, Kelly, and I came up with a plan that me and Zach were going to run shifts, and the tractor was not going to shut off, drilling wheat, and then Kelly was going to be tendering seed back and forth. I'd already worked it out with Helena to bring me a huge fertilizer truck filled with wheat seed, and we were just going to fill up out of that, and we were going to run all night long. We didn't get our 400 acres planted. I think we got 350 of those acres planted, but I believe I started the tractor at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, and I did not shut the tractor off until I think 8 o'clock Wednesday night, about 10 minutes before the rain actually hit. And we planted we planted a straight 60 acres. I ran the tractor all day Monday night. Zach was doing dirt work on Monday and Tuesday. He went home, got some sleep Tuesday night, and he took over after he got done with dirt work on Tuesday. Around 6 o'clock, he took over the tractor and run all night Tuesday night till about 8 o'clock the next morning, when I got back on and run it until then I run it till about 6 or 7 o'clock that night whenever the rain hit. So Yeah, I thought it made for great TV. We had a person in the tractor with us the whole time. I explained what our plan was going to be to the camera crew, and there was 3 of them out here, so they figured out a rotation where one would work 8 hours solid. They'd be with 8 hours, and they'd rotate throughout the day and the night. And they did a great job of covering it, but unfortunately, it never made it to TV. I thought it had been a better segment than what our cotton picking season was, because they made a big deal as the last episode of that season. You know, we finished up with cotton harvest. We pulled an all-nighter and really made a great finish to the show. I thought that wheat planting part would actually top that, but like I said, they ended the show with us finishing up cotton, acting like we were done for the year, which we weren't even close to done for the year. So, but anyway, the moral of the story is after doing that, I really don't have a desire to duplicate it for YouTube. We could, and we might one day, but it's not because I really want to.
We are servicing the picker. Still got a hydraulic leak somewhere. Doesn't look too bad, but still gotta find out. And Zach's blowing it off, and then we'll get started. We got about 17 acres left, and then go from there.
All right, Kelly and Zach called me over to the picker. Apparently we got oil leaking from the hydrostat. Where's it coming from?
Right in there. The only thing I can figure is it's coming from behind here. I've checked every hose.
Well, that ain't the hydrostat. That's the hydraulic pump.
That's what I meant to say. It was a hydraulic pump.
Yeah, those two big black things right there, the hydrostats.
Yeah.
Get up there, fire it up, and then let the headers up and down. All right, hand me that ether out of the toolbox. See if I can get it cleaned up. Good thing about working in a cotton field and on a cotton picker is you always got a steady supply of rags to clean stuff up. All right, fire it up again, and let the headers up and down, and also raise the basket. It's leaking right around in there. I don't know if that's a relief valve, or I don't really know what it is, but it looks like it's a gasket leaking. It's just seeping out, so nothing to worry about. It ain't major enough to worry about it with 15 acres left. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
I'll worry about it next August. But
I knew we had issues in this area last year, so I was not taking any.
But I'm definitely gonna write it down in my phone, otherwise I will forget to fix it.
Yeah, you will. And then we'll get out to the field and we'll be like, oh, remember when it was leaking on the last day?
It'll get a little nasty, but
Let's get out and...
no, it'll be fine. Just get the cotton finished. Well, that is a huge relief there. I was scared to death that those hydrostats were out. That picker's got 2 hydrostats on there, and I thought they'd been feeling just a little weak this year, and I was scared to death we weren't going to be able to pick cotton, or going to have to pull those hydrostats off in the off season, spend a lot of money to get them repaired. Luckily, it looks like it was just the gasket on the valve on the hydraulic pump. A relatively easy and cheap fix. But it's not going to be a fix today. We'll get that done in our pre-season prep next summer. It won't. I only got like 14 acres left, and want them to get that done today when we be done with that picker. I sure am glad it's not the hydrostats, because I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be keeping that picker. I got my eye on a module picker. The last thing I want to do is sink $4,000 into a $40,000 cotton picker to only run it another season, 2 seasons, or whatever. We're at that point in season where you just do what you can just to keep the equipment running. You know, just some temporary fixes, just enough to get done, and then you worry about fixing it right in the off season. I don't know exactly when we cross the point of fixing it right or just fixing it just good enough to get by, but inevitably at some point every harvest season you cross that point.
Kelly's on her way back out. We had a little issue with the picker this morning. Just wanted to get confirmation from the boss man before we fire it up, and everything looks good. We're gonna try to go pick the last of this cotton.
Now begins the fun of getting out, starting that, getting out of that, getting up there, smashing that, getting back in here, putting that in there, and coming back down. This is not going to be a good day for me, but I'm going to try my best. We've gotten everything moved. 2 done. What the hell? 2 done over there. Now we have to go running like a chicken with his head cut off. We have to go move the seed tender from Matt. So Zach and I are gonna stop really quick, and we're gonna go get the seed tender and move it for him to the other farm. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, so we just got the seed tender and gonna move it to the next farm. Matt does not need it filled up at this moment in time, so we're gonna dump it and then go back to picking the rest of that cotton on our 3rd module, and hopefully it fits all in there. If not, I don't know, I'll be smashing cotton for a while. I think it will. I think we only got, wow! Whoo! Something got spread just yesterday, and it is ripe out here. Whoa, yeah, that is yum. I wish y'all could smell it. Like, that's gonna help. The air conditioning is gonna come right on through it. The thingamabob came apart? Yeah, whatever. Just kick it! Oh, great. I think we're all missing a few bolts and nuts right about now. I guess those boot thingy. I don't even know anymore! I'm gonna lay in here and just go to sleep. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Y'all, it's been a really, really long harvest. He's gonna fix it.
Well, it's only taken us a day and a half. Me and Kelly finally found our groove. It's kind of been slow go because Matt's drilling wheat right now, so we got to keep him running with the seed tender. So anytime he calls and tells us that seed tender needs to be filled up, or he's done with the farm, need to move the seed tender over, we've stopped and gone to move that just so he can stay rolling. About the opposite of what I was expecting is happening on this last 29-acre farm we've got. I expected that bottom down there, where it looked like it had a better stand, more bowls on it. I expected it to have higher yield potential according to the monitor. I got started about halfway through that bottom down there this morning, and the further I get up on the hill towards the shorter rows of the field, the yield monitor has actually picked up. The average has jumped for the field, and it's doing the exact opposite of what I thought it would. I mean, right now in a spot that I thought wouldn't make over 650 pounds an acre is making 785, 800. And the bottom for about 19 days will finally be here. We are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting there slowly but surely.
Lots of commotion going on at Mason Grove. We got our neighbor across the street. Okay, America. 2 combines getting field done over there, and then you got us about to finish up. So hopefully get it all in here.
Well, boys and girls, here are the 6-year-olds we've been looking for. And that is it. Cotton 2021 is in the books.
Are we done? Cotton 2021. Hallelujah is finished.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus. Thank all the Jesuses. Because this was so awful. I'm so tired. Matt Griggs, I don't know how you did it with down cotton 12 hours a day every day.
It took a little conditioning to get my back in shape in order to be able to handle it. Those first 2 days was pretty rough, not gonna lie.
I think I need an eye exam. My head still hurts from being cross-eyed looking at Rose. I saw spraying this after it got laid down was hard. That ain't nothing compared to running this picture.
I hope you didn't leave as much cotton out there as Kelly did, what she picked yesterday.
It was an equal opportunity to leave stuff out here, and yeah, we did our best. Okay, we are not experienced like some. So hey, the cotton's in the modules. Call the freaking trucks. Let's get it out of here. I don't want to look at it anymore.
I still got about 3 hours of daylight. Go ahead and get you a couple sacks and go back and hand pick all that on those low branches that got missed.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't get paid enough to do that. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, cotton is done! Woo! We're done! 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 Jesus, take the wheel. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go! Thank you, God.
Well, I gotta say, I'm mighty proud of Zach and Kelly and the job they did getting that cotton harvest finished up. If it weren't for them taking upon themselves to get that last farm of cotton harvested, you know, we would be 130 acres behind on our wheat planting right now. So, you know, it's teamwork like that that really makes our operation shine and keeps it efficient and just able to accomplish whatever task that needs to be handled. This is a pretty big moment for them. I think this is the first time that I can remember that I have been completely uninvolved in the harvesting process. Yeah, I mean, they've done it for an hour or two at a time, but you know, I've never just left them or anybody else just go harvest the farm while I've completely focused on something else. Normally I got my hand in harvest in some way or another, so it's a pretty big moment for them. It's a great learning experience, getting, you know, experience on the equipment, you know, more than just, you know, 10 or 15 minutes, you know, getting full days worth of experience on the equipment, especially in the difficult harvesting conditions that we experienced this year with cotton. You know, they learned a lot on the fine-tuning of the cotton picker to, you know, to be able to set it to get a lot of that low-hanging, laid-over cotton that we had. So, really impressed with the job they did, and you know, I had complete confidence in them. Otherwise I'd have been right there on the cotton picker, but I had complete confidence they'd be able to get it done, in a timely manner, do a good job, and not tear any equipment up. And well, that's exactly what happened. They got the job done. So huge thanks to them. Definitely wouldn't be in this position that I am without their support and their help. But them getting the chance to run the cotton picker also gives them a greater understanding of how to be better in their other jobs, whether it's running the bowl buggy, grain buggy, module builder, even the planter. When you have to actually drive the harvester through the field, plant rows, and deciding how you're going to lay out the rows, you know, gives you a greater understanding of how better to plant the crop to make it more efficient when you come to harvest the crop. Also, when you run the picker and you're normally used to driving the bowl buggy, kind of lets you understand how you can better position the bowl buggy to make it more efficient for the cotton picker driver just to pull up and dump really quick without having to do a bunch of maneuvering, that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that 30 acres of cotton picking really gave them some valuable insight into how they can improve in doing their other jobs in the future. I tell you, for me personally, that was a pretty big moment for me too, because if you can't tell from the videos, I'm pretty much a control freak about everything that goes on in the farm. I really need to be involved, have my thumb on every aspect just to make sure it's done the right way. And it's a lot for me to be able to trust somebody else to take over another part of the operation without me being personally involved in it. That is something that's really hard for me to do, but it's also something that I need to learn to do more often. And experiences like this, you know, them getting that last farm harvested successfully, you know, it helps me grow as a business owner or a boss, whatever you want to call me. It helps me grow in my role to be able to delegate more responsibility without feeling like I got to micromanage every detail. And for me as an owner or boss, that's probably my biggest fault. You know, I'm successful at doing it, but it doesn't make it easy on the people that I work with. And it takes a toll on me physically trying to pay attention to every single detail and not really trusting that to somebody else. So I know it's something that I need to continue to build on, and hopefully I'll be able to in the future. And when you got great, competent people to work with, like Zach is, like Kelly is, that makes that process for me a whole lot easier, because there's been times in the past I've had people work for me that I couldn't even trust to sharpen the lawnmower blade right. It's been rough in the past with some previous employees. I've had some great previous employees, but I've also had some real stinkers too.
Well, how well it's picking up on camera, but man, look at the color of those clouds on this beautiful sunset. Even when it's cloudy, sometimes we can look around and have a beautiful sunset. I would say sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the roses, but right now the only thing I can smell out in this field is chicken poop, because it was just spread yesterday. All right, well, another long 15-hour day is in the books. Didn't get the 135 I want to get covered, but we did get a smooth 120 acres covered, so we trotting along. We got one more real long day ahead of us, and we'll probably have a couple-day break because of the rain moving in. And honestly, to tell you the truth, it really ain't gonna hurt my feelings too awful much. We've been in the field, 12 to 15 hours a day for the last 10 days, so having a couple days get a little rest and relaxation ain't gonna be the end of the world, that's for sure. Anyway, we're gonna finish getting this drill filled up, and I'm gonna head on in and see what kind of leftovers Kelly's got warmed up for me. See y'all back here bright and early in the morning.